There are 4 roles currently in Red Dead Online, 3 that released September 10th in the Frontier Pursuits DLC update, and then the new Moonshiner role which released on December 13th, 2019. And each role in Red Dead brings new and unique ways for the player to experience the open world and really dig into how immersive this game can actually be. From becoming a bounty hunter, to trafficking moonshine, to collecting rare and valuable treasures, to starting a business at your camp, the Red Dead Online roles are super important if you want to make money and gold to buy more things like weapons, ability cards, horses, which all help you complete more missions and at an easier rate, but also fence pamphlets and other recipes and clothing in which you can craft for special abilities. Now, the questions I get most regarding new roles in Red Dead Online is which role is the best, and well, while each role has its own set of unlocks and rewards as well as its own advantages and disadvantages, I'll be ranking each role from worst to best inside of this video. I'll also be giving my own tips and tricks regarding these roles too, so you know how to be most effective with that role. So drop a like down below if you guys do go on to enjoy today's video and find the information helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and make sure to follow me over on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at HazardousHDTV to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest Red Dead Redemption 2 news and information. I also want to mention I am live every single day on twitch.tv, so if you are in the market for daily Red Dead Online live streams, you can be sure to always have a channel that's excited to have a conversation and play Red Dead Online with you. First, let's get some ground rules for how we're going to be ranking these roles in this video. The usefulness on the unlocks and such are really up to personal preference, and so in order to give a baseline for how these roles are ranked in this video, we are keeping in mind how much gold and money you can earn, which roles pay out the most money, and which roles are best for earning gold. That is how we will rank these roles here today. While opinions on which unlocks are better, and these can differ from player to player, all of us are using these roles and playing as them to make money in Red Dead, so it only makes sense that's how we approach this in this video here today. So starting off with what I think is the worst role of the current 4 in Red Dead Online is the trader role. I do want to be clear though, I don't think the trader role is bad by any means. I actually think it's a pretty solid role. It's worth it, but it's just not the best compared to the other 3 roles in the game. So, the trader started off being a fantastic way to make money. Hunt animals, bring them back to your camp, and donate them to Crypts and the butcher's table, and bam. After a certain amount of time, you can sell the goods Crypts produce for a huge sum of cash, all the way up to $625 if you attempt a long-distance sell either solo or in a posse. But it's not that simple with the trader. For starters, consoles are struggling with animal spawns, and while eventually they may be fixed and adjusted, it's been such a pain for players that it just makes trading as a role and a business a lot harder than it needs to be. The other reason why I'm ranking the trader as the worst is the fact that you have to dedicate your focus to it in order to be effective and efficient with the role. You either have to hunt animals and bring their carcasses back to camp, or skin them and donate their pelts to Crypts, all which give you a variable amount of materials, which in turn affects how much Crypts and how many goods Crypts can create. And if you run out, you better make sure you go out and hunt more animals, otherwise your trader business will not be in production. It's honestly a little bit of a nuisance in my opinion to keep up with the trader. At least this is what I've noticed while I live stream, but that's just my own playstyle. If hunting animals for materials and sourcing supplies during my resupply missions were taken care of for me, then $625 for a 100 good large delivery wagon long distance sell would be great. But this is not a passive business by any means. This is a role that demands your constant attention and care, and quite frankly, the time the player spends on hunting animals and completing these resupply missions to keep up with the trader business production means less time spent on the other 3 roles, which I think are more important for a player anyhow. The unlocks I do quite enjoy though. The trader comes with camp upgrades like a camp dog, a stew pot to make stews that grant you gold cores, you can unlock camp themes and tents, you can purchase an improved campfire to start crafting tonics and cooking foods at twice the rate you could before, and not only all of that, but the trader entails the purchase of delivery wagons for your sell missions and even a hunting wagon to make your animal sourcing even easier, and as well so for that, the trader role is absolutely worth it. To rank up the trader role and maximize XP with the role, role, sell as little goods as possible, and you can initiate a sell mission with only one good, and from that point you can just throw a stick of dynamite at your wagon, blow it up, put the bag of goods on the back of your horse, and run it to the destination. And you can rinse and repeat local sells and this process like this for an easy 250 trader XP pretty much every 5 to 10 minutes, which will make ranking up the trader super fast and easy. And of course, you can make the most money after you rank up the role completely, so make sure you sell 100 goods either locally or you can risk it at long distance. And since players are now bored of waiting for a new update, be warned, as these players are more likely to target and attack your long distance sell mission. But moving on to the next best role in Red Dead Online, the Moonshiner. This is the newest role to release, and let me tell you, in terms of gameplay, this is my absolutely most favorite role. The sell missions, the extra online story mode content that released, the bootlegger missions, the rare poison poppy recipe you need to find and loot, it all makes the Moonshiner role super fun. And unfortunately, this DLC release really messed up the game for all players on all platforms, and we're all dealing with the problems and the fallout and issues caused by this update, and it was just really buggy and glitchy overall. And sadly, Rockstar has not fixed the majority of these issues, so it just really casts a shadow and a shade over how great this DLC could have been. But if there were no glitches with the Moonshiner role, it would have been amazing. So hopefully eventually it will all work as intended. The Moonshiner is better than Trader in my opinion, because even at the cost of possibly making a little less money over a 3.5 hour period with moonshining compared to trading, it's a totally passive business, or at least more passive than Trader is. It's really hands off. Sure, you need to go to your shack and start a recipe, but you don't need to return until it's time to sell. And the hardest and most tedious part of the role is sourcing ingredients if you desire a flavored moonshine, which I definitely recommend you do because you can make more money. I always make the appleberry crumb recipe, and I gather my apples from the Braithwaite Manor barn, the vanilla flowers from the swamps in the bayou, and I gather my blackberries around Manzanita Post. All the ingredients can be found within 15 minutes, and the appleberry crumb recipe buyer is always available, and you don't need to wait until he reappears on the buyer's list. And so the appleberry crumb recipe sells for $226 and takes 48 minutes to produce at max rank moonshiner. Keeping in mind the time it takes to travel over to the shack and start a production and sell it, call it 1 hour in total from start to finish. In 4 hours, you as a player can make $904 moonshining using that recipe. Even if you didn't do a single bootlegger mission and your mash cost is $50 every time, you are still netting $704. Also keep in mind, this is not 4 hours of attentive work like the Trader is, always needing to hunt animals and travel back to resupply every 25 goods produced. No, the Moonshiner is completely passive. You just need to initiate the distillation process and eventually sell the moonshine, and for this reason alone, it's much more effective than Trader and will most likely net you more money over time, even while Trader seems like it nets you more in the 3.5 hour period it takes for you to sell 100 goods while trading. Not to mention the elegant Moonshiner outfits, the bar expansion which most people love, the ability to serve drinks to other players and posse members, and if you drink your own moonshine, it functions in a similar way to the camp stew and how it gives you gold cores. The Moonshiner and moonshine that you drink, it gives you gold rings for your health, stamina, and deadeye. Next up on the list, the second best role in Red Dead Online is the Collector. This would be number 1 on my list because of just how lucrative it is, but a key component of the Collector is missing, and we will get into that when we discuss the final and best role. The Collector role comes with a super fast Criollo horse, great outfits, and some sweet abilities like equine assistance that allow you to pick up herbs from horseback. Along with the Collector role is the ability to make more money in game than ever before, and in terms of just making money, nothing beats the Collector role. You can easily make over $4,000 every single day selling each set of collections, and that's not to mention the 200 random dig spots that essentially award you duplicates of those collectibles if you do decide to go after them. You can hold up to 10 sets of each collection to sell to Madame Nazar, which means over $40,200 just from collecting in 10 days. It takes 5.5 hours to go after all sets of collectibles in one day. If you are pretty quick, that's the time it took me on average to do it on stream while I'm also reading chat and tending to my other roles as well, but I'm sure dedicated players can get the time down even more. The key to the Collector is using the Gene Ropke God map, and I will leave a link for that in my video description. The map details all locations of every single collectible on every single cycle on each day. It's updated daily at the Collector item reset, which is 6 p.m. Central Time or 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, Finally, for the best role in Red Dead Online, we have the Bounty Hunter. The only reason I'm ranking the Bounty Hunter and saying it's best in my opinion is because of the ability for you to earn gold. The Bounty Hunter is the only role in the game that gives you gold. The Trader role only pays you out in money, and same with the Moonshiner and the Collector. To earn maximum gold with the Bounty Hunter, set a timer on your phone for 12 minutes before you complete the bounty, and you'll get paid 32 nuggets for the bounty hunts, and 12 minutes pays you gold at the fastest rate. The way the game awards the player gold is by 8 nugget payouts every 3 minutes. So at 3 minutes, you make 8 nuggets, at 6 minutes, you make 16 nuggets, at 9 minutes, you make 24 nuggets, and at 12 minutes, you make 32 nuggets. Past this point, the game starts paying you out only 4 nuggets every 3 minutes, so it's worth starting a new mission and earning 8 nuggets every 3 minutes again on a new mission, compared to waiting even longer to only earn 4 nuggets every 3 minutes on the same mission, because at 15 minutes you'll have only earned 36 nuggets, and at 18 minutes you'll have earned 40 nuggets, etc, up to 30 minutes of playtime on one activity. Now, although XP and money don't equally correspond perfectly to this gold payout system, money does vary depending on which tier of bounty you do, how many targets there are, which bounties you bring in dead and which bounties you bring in alive, and the same rule holds true overall. The longer time you take, the more money, XP, and gold you will make. Along with the Bounty Hunter are some sweet outfits with new capes, as well as 10 legendary bounties to go after in an extended mission, and similar to dungeons in other MMO games, that's kind of what they remind me of. And you also get even new DLC weapons like a bolus, a reinforced lasso, and the Eagle Eye Plus skill, which allows you to sprint on foot and on horseback while in Eagle Eye, as well as the Bounty Hunter wagon, which will allow you to transport 6 bounty targets at the same time, which means you can complete those tier 3 bounties solo in free roam. Now, for a comprehensive guide on how to earn gold in Red Dead Online, you can check out my video, also linked in the description down below, on how to earn gold fast in Red Dead, and one of those methods is by playing as a bounty hunter in Red Dead Online. But with that said, we are going to be ending the video off right here. Of course, each role has its own advantages and disadvantages. Like I said at the beginning, hopefully now you at least know the ins and outs of each role, what's good, what's bad, and if you were on the fence about which role to purchase next, hopefully now you are informed enough to make the right decision for yourself as a player. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback on your own role ranking list. Which role do you think is the worst? Which role do you think is best? For all the new players watching this video as well, it would be great for anyone else to leave their own tips along with their own list, and hopefully they can really help someone out and make their day. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption 2. If you guys want to stay up to date with updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube. I practically live on all 3 of those websites, and you can feel free to strike up a conversation or even ask me a question. Whatever it may be though, you can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links, including my Discord, can be found in the description down below. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.